And another system, just like the one we're in right now, the last thing we want to do is have a new version of the old system. We want a new system. Okay? Brent was talking about sustainability. Internal sustainability makes you have external sustainability. It's just the way it works. So instead of trying to go from the outside in, ascension, remember, is all BS. It's incension. You must incend yourself and manipulate your terrain so you can see, feel, hear, and touch the big picture, and you'll just become more on the path, because it's the only way you can go. So when we look at this chart, it took many hours to put together. A lot of these things, remember, it's transcription, and you have to be able to see some visuals. 80% of the United States is in the standard American diet, and we only know what we know. It doesn't mean that what we're doing is wrong, but it does definitely mean that there is a large group of people waking up and going to the next level of the pyramid. The standard American diet has 80% of the population. They eat, and if it tastes good, they eat it. Okay? It's like a seafood diet. Okay? Now, you'll notice that 80% of all the disease, remember, 80% of the population is 15 pounds plus overweight. 1 out of 45 children are autistic. 30% of the population, that's 82.5 million people, are obese. 30 pounds plus overweight. Okay? This is toxicity from the standard American diet. Chemicals, synthetics, plasticizers. What's plasticizers? It's the packaging. It's the stuff that makes polycarbonate hard, and you put those glasses in your microwave. When you put them in your dishwasher, after a while they start cracking because all the bisphenol A is in your body. Bisphenol A is used in all the fillings to harden the porcelain or the composites that they re-drill. Oh, you went and got smart, let's say, and you got your amalgam fillings drilled out, and you went to the dentist, he says, oh, we can put white fillings in. You're doing it for cosmetic, or how about for health, wealth, and happiness? And when you do change these amalgam fillings, which of course they're not silver, very small percentages silver, they're actually lead, mercury, and tin. Here's another good video for you to watch. Look up smoking fillings. And when you see that, you will want to take out that filling out of your mouth, because a 25-year-old tooth, just by drinking a cup of tea, will off-gas methyl mercury for 2 hours. Whoa, daddy-o. And what's methyl mercury? Okay, see everybody's shaking. Okay, oh, I forgot things, I can't remember. Well, guys, we're here to clean up our acts. I said I had 15 of these things in my mouth, and I thought I was smart about 12 years ago and put porcelain in. Okay? Then I found out that porcelain, like I said, is aluminum oxide in bisphenol A glue. Then I went to one of my friends in Mexico, Dr. Javier Morales, that Rabien told me about. And boys, he got a lot of patience from us. Because a lot of people have done the same thing. They changed, they paid big money to put mercury in, they paid big money to take it out and put porcelain in, and now I went and got my teeth changed for $65 a tooth, and we put in crystals, which has hardness, diamond's 10. That's the hardest you can get, carbon-based. How about this crystal's number 8? I put half amethyst in and half quartz, grind it up with non-bisphenol A glue, and my whole mouth vibrated for weeks. Remember, each tooth is an acupuncture point. I'm not making this up. This is all well known. And if you talk about it, see, I'm not giving you anything but my opinions. I'm not telling anybody what to do. If you're reasonable and logical and not toxic enough, then you'll see this truth. And all you got to do is investigate it. And or if it's a little bit over your head, like Brent was saying, from the last speaking we had, then ask a friend maybe. Tell a friend and see if you can actually help them transcribe it with you. The standard American diet, remember, has all of these diseases, all this cancer, okay? All of this dumbing down of eating synthetic, low vibrational, dead foods. Our bodies are live machines. In actuality, they are hydrogen engines. Once our body becomes more active, more energetic, Once we raise our tune-up, remember, if you're in 6.66 cycles, it's a breeding program. 7 cycles, you're into this level. Each of these little chakras you can see on the side here, if you eat the standard American diet, you can see red goes to red, and it takes you right to called semi-consciousness. You don't really get the blinders off yet. And as you rise up this pyramid, your blinders start to open up, and you start to become more human. Remember, it's an infinite game, so it may take a little while for all of us to see this. It doesn't matter, but there is a big group of people now that want to wake up. So the standard American diet people are going to healthier foods. And if you go to a health food store, please, it's not a health food store. It's a healthier food store. 95% of the stuff in that store still is a bunch of junk. Okay? And you'll see the people usually working in the health food stores, they don't look too healthy either. You'd think they'd be shining examples of health. But they're not, because it's, you know, it's a game. And you have to be able to actually play naturalistically. I would suggest, and this is my opinion because I don't want to get in trouble with the big companies here, but I wouldn't eat a genetically modified sterile organism because Hippocrates says, you are what you eat, and if you eat this GMO, then what do you think happens to you? People don't even know what GMO means. Shoot, when I went to Europe about 10 years ago, it said in all the windows, no GMO here, no GMO here. I was scratching my head, well, they don't sell General Motors? What is it? It's a GMO. I couldn't get it. I didn't even know what genetically modified organism even stood for. So the big picture is that if you want to become more human, then you have to go back to the naturalistic style or life of heirloom foods. Heirloom means it hasn't been perverted yet. Remember, bananas are only this big. They're not that big. Go to the farmer's market here and you'll see some people are selling bloody bananas this big. Whoa! How about apples are this big too, and tomatoes are really small. And the bigger you eat things, you'll find out that you get modified just like that. You are what you eat, and if you eat hybridized, stretched out food, you think that may have something to do with the size of your body and the size of your creature load? Yeah, at least I found that out. I've seen about approximately 200,000 patient office visits for about 14 years practicing. So you get to find out you really can't help anybody. All you can do is give people reasonable and logical movements, and they have to want to help themselves. And this terrain modification we're talking about is a full-time job, just like everything else is. So once you get out of the standard American diet people, you really can't even help them. Okay? They have to help themselves. Once you get up to these higher levels, then you're going to want to know the booby traps, like lead and lipstick. Look it up, lead and lipstick. You'll find out that most of the lipstick, and women really get hard with toxicity. By the time you're 50 years old, you've used 5,000 tampons. I mean, that may be okay, but not with dioxins, not with phthalates, not with different chemicals, bleaches, and so forth. Okay? Sometimes you'll wonder, you know, toxicity goes in the area where it accumulates, and perfumes, spraying on perfumes like the Eau de Toilette, you can see that most likely once you see what's in it, that's what it is. It's for the toilet, okay? Your body accumulates synthetics. It accumulates different types of chemicals. It does not process them. It accumulates them. Aluminum is an elemental ion. It goes into the brain. You've heard of it. Alzheimer's. How do you get that out of you once you've accumulated lots? Okay? Well, first of all, you stop taking it in. Stop cooking food in aluminum foil. That's number one. Stop using aluminum pans. Stop using underarm deodorant with aluminum in it. Salt that says aluminum silicates in. All you do is read the labels. It's everywhere. Remember, consciousness wants you to see. And if you're smart enough to walk through the booby traps, then great. If not, you're out of here. Okay? Remember, this system wants you to get smart. There is an alien system, and people say, what do you mean alien? A Mexican who crosses the border into California is called an illegal alien because it's not from there. So if we really look at this alien, we just don't know what is actually the big picture here, but we know that there is an alien system behind the system that's guiding us to an end result. And it wants us to get a little smarter right now at this time, as you can see, because we're not really that shining of a species. We're more of a warfaring, barbaric, unconscious species. But as you can see, lots of people want to become more human. And that means you have to become more sustainable. The healthier food people are going to organic foods. The organic food people are going to superfoods. The superfoods people are going to heirloom foods. And you can't jump from standard American and go up to living foods. Those creatures that live in all those different colors will not allow you. They will not allow you to jump up. You can't go from 3rd grade to 9th grade. You can't understand geometry and the algebra and all the different little deals that make you so you're consciously enough. Actually, growth is see, as I know more, I become more ignorant, exponentially. So as I ask more questions, I get more answers. And as I get more answers, I ask more questions. And it's an exponential ignorance. But it's in a good way, because there could be an exponential ignorance in a negative way too. So as you climb this ladder, you'll see that this is called Jacob's ladder of life and death. You eat death, and so shall you get the creatures of death that live inside your body. Why do you have cockroaches in your kitchen? It's because you're dirty. Take away the junk, and the cockroaches have no food. The body, remember, body fat is a cockroach. It's a cucaracha, okay? And it eats dead food. So if you feed it, once it gets to a certain level, you can't stop feeding. It's like a person who smokes cigarettes. Okay? Let's study that observation. We see somebody that works, you work with somebody, you're in an office, and they can't see you, but you see every 2 hours they go out and smoke a cigarette. And then once in a while you go out and talk with them, and you say, do you ever even feel anything when you smoke? They go, no, I just sort of feel better. I feel like I need to smoke. Okay, what's the word addiction mean? How about there's a creature inside that we're feeding? And once we find out that this addiction is nothing more than a creature that feeds, are you hungry every hour, or is it hungry? So once you get up to these higher tunes, remember I told you, red, orange, yellow, and green is where all of the creatures live. Anaerobic creatures, parasites, yeast, mold, fungus, tapeworms, nematodes, all these weird things we're going to show you in a second. So the superfood people go to heirloom. Heirloom people, which are 100% natural foods from nature that haven't been perverted, they go to living foods. And living food people then go to nutritional, medicinal. I'm in the superfood, organic superfood, heirloom, living foods, and nutritional, medicinal. And most of the foods I eat are, I'd say, living foods and nutritional, medicinal. And it sounds like that's not that fun, but that's all I'm feeding is me. You only like what you like because of the creature mode that tells you that's what you like. And once you figure that out, you'll say, do you really think you like that piece of carcass? That piece of, the tapeworm does. It's a bloodsucker. So once you actually, like a lot of vegetarians, they go, I haven't eaten meat in 10 years, but every time I smell it, I salivate. It's because you still have the snake in your stomach. Of course you do. You're just denying its feed.